Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. I hope you're well. So today it's a makeup and movie TV show. Normally I do a makeup and movie Monday, but I really wanted to talk about the show that I am going to be talking about. Obviously you can see in the title. I was kind of contemplating actually filming this, but I was just like, I have to talk about it because today that I'm filming is a Saturday and the season 2 finished yesterday. So I thought, while it's still kind of fresh in my mind, let's talk about it, but let's incorporate it in one of my videos. So if you couldn't tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about The Mandalorian. Yeah, I'm just completely shocked what happened. Again, this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a weird video because it's 2 seasons and obviously it's not a film that I'm talking about, but it's something that I'm very passionate about. I have to say this is going to be full of spoilers because I mean, I can't not talk about the show and then not talk about some kind of relevant information part of it. So normally what I do during a makeup and movie Monday, I will put on a full face of makeup while I'm talking about said film or today said show. I might make this into a continuing thing. We'll see how it goes. So let's talk about it basically. So like I said, season 2 finished yesterday, and what it kind of meant by finish is that obviously it was the last episode of the season, and I'm just gonna be talking to you guys like you know what's happening or what's happened, because obviously you wouldn't want to watch this and it be spoiled for you, even though Twitter spoils everything in the first like 5 seconds after something happens, because that's just the way it is with social media. Like, I had only started watching The Mandalorian as soon as I got Disney Plus, and that was, has it been a year now? It's almost been a year. So obviously season 1 came out quite a while ago, but obviously it was only in America because obviously America get everything first. So a lot of my friends that were watching it were like downloading it, or if they're American they got to watch it on Disney Plus, because UK didn't get Disney Plus until like last year basically. So as soon as I got Disney Plus, I just watched the shit out of it. Basically me and my husband just watched the first season. There's only 8 episodes per season, so essentially the episode that aired yesterday was 16 episodes altogether. I know it's weird, a lot of people say like, oh, have you seen like episode 8? And I'm just like, of which season? Because obviously they're making it a they're in chapters basically. So essentially yesterday was like chapter 16. But I just am so completely shocked by this show. In case I haven't mentioned it like every single freaking video, but I absolutely love Star Wars. It is one of the most important things in my life. I know that's really stupid to say, but it's a franchise that I've literally enjoyed since I was born. Like, growing up in a family where we're sci-fi geeks, Star Wars is like the #1 franchise for me. I honestly, when all these films are like coming out and then, you know, they have all these kind of announcements, and even like recently when they had like Disney had their kind of announcements for the next coming years, I just rolled my eyes. And honestly, when I saw that they were making a show about Mandalorians, and I'm like, come on, Boba Fett was like, obviously Boba Fett is a really big character in the Star Wars universe, even though he's only in like 2 films, but I think it's because of the impact that he made. So that, okay, because he's a Mandalorian, let's talk about his race essentially. And I found it quite frustrating when they first announced, like, I'm obviously going to be transparent, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the idea. But then when I kind of saw that Jon Favreau was involved, he, if you don't know who he is, he's an actor slash director. Like, back in the 90s, he used to make, well, he was in a lot of movies with like Vince Vaughn and stuff like that. And now he's a director and like writer and producer. He's done like really, really well. Like, he directed the first Iron Man movie, in case you didn't know. Did he do the second one? I can't remember, but that was shit. But the first Iron Man was fantastic. So essentially he was one of the people who started the MC universe to kind of like get how big it was, because in the beginning, I'm a bit like, okay, actors wanting to be directors, it's like one of that thing. But some people are more directors than they are like actors or anything like that. And especially when it comes to like being producers, a lot of them tend to thrive being like that. And I always feel like he's definitely a better director than an actor. Like, there's nothing against him being an actor, but when it comes to like that first Iron Man movie he made, it was just freaking amazing. And of course he's done other stuff as well. But when it comes to a show like this, especially with the Star Wars universe and the franchise, like the people behind it, like the fan base are, I'm sorry to say it, but some of them are really fucking toxic. I know everyone agrees with me. Even if you're one of those people, you kind of like internet trolls and you just going out to ruin people's day because they said something you didn't agree with about Star Wars. But when it comes to this show, I was a bit like, okay, we'll see how it goes and what to expect, because I've been so disappointed in the past. Like, for me personally, like this is exactly how I feel. But you know, everyone has their own kind of choices, and obviously before then you've had the TV shows like the Clone Wars and what are the animated ones really, and they did so freaking well, which I'll kind of mention a bit later on because it's quite important to the Mandalorian basically. So yeah, when it came out, everyone was just raving about it, and of course the star of the show is the child slash baby Yoda. I mean, I know why they call him Baby Yoda, because he is basically a baby Yoda. But he obviously is not, well, later on you kind of find out his powers and what he is and everything like that, which I think is amazing. But obviously it's Disney trying to sell you cute products as well. It's what Disney's always done. Like, obviously no massive hate to Disney because I'm a big Disney fan, but obviously anything that is worth selling, they would do it. It's the same essentially with the Star Wars universe. Like, everything that they make, there's about 50 franchise connections and shows and books and other stuff as well. But I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just how the economy works. You just have to constantly be pumping out stuff before people even kind of realize, you know, this is a bit too much. But when it came to me watching the first season, of course I absolutely loved it. Every episode was just explosions and everything was something happening and people blowing up and this person turning up, and I really enjoy like the show in the sense of the cast is amazing. Like Pedro Pascal, who plays Mando, which is the main Mandalorian. You would have seen him in Game of Thrones, and he was in Narcos, but I haven't seen Narcos, but I've heard it is very good. I do like me a kind of crime-esque TV show. But yeah, I really like him. And one thing I did like is that because he's not like the biggest Hollywood star, like he kind of obviously kept the helmet on, and one thing that is about the Mandalorians that you don't take your helmet off because you're meant to just remain like just in your armor constantly. And obviously in the first season you got to see his face at the end. I think it was like, was it the last episode? It's so strange, I've only seen the first season once. I really should get back onto it, but there's so many things to watch. I might have to do like a rewatch of the whole season because it's just so much to take in, especially on like a first viewing. But I really just enjoy the cast, and I love seeing Carl Weathers. He's just amazing, like so great to see him. Obviously he is in the first Predator movie. He's in Rocky 1. Can't remember, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's in Rocky 1. I don't know why I'm just like, which one? I'm an idiot. But yeah, he's fantastic in it, and obviously he pops up in the second season as well, and he even directs an episode, which I think is freaking awesome. But I wanted to kind of talk more about this second season because obviously the first season has been out for so long and the second season just finished. This was a really crazy season. There was so much to take in. I know a lot of people, it's such a mixed bag, I feel, but I mean, personally, I enjoyed every episode. I think everything was just, I mean, there was a lot of fillers. I mean, I don't know if you want to call them fillers, but one of my favorite an episode that I did quite like, but it's like kind of moved into, was the frog episode where he was escorting this frog lady to go and see her like husband, I guess, her frog husband, and she had these eggs and Baby Yoda was eating them. I mean, some comic relief, but obviously quite disturbing. I know there was like this whole thing online, which there always is, some people like saying, oh, I can't believe like this little creature is eating someone's eggs and eating children, and I'm just like, it's a TV show. It's not really happening, it's fine. But obviously there's always some little bit of controversy. I'm like, you're cancelling Baby Yoda? Okay, cool. What are you gonna do with it? Like, it's a TV show, he's a cute creature, which you get to learn more about in this season, obviously, because the first season everyone was just obsessed with how cute he was and kind of how relevant he is to the story. Because I feel like with this show there's so many, essentially there's lots of side missions that Mando does, because obviously you have the main storyline, which is him and Baby Yoda, the child, but then you have everything else like the frog lady and just other side stories that do kind of come together. But I guess because Mando is kind of, he's a bounty hunter, but then he also is kind of escorting people so he can get to the right place. So I guess everything kind of works for a reason. But like I said, this season was completely just rammed full of like side characters, and it's weird because obviously there's so much hype around certain things. So one of the things that I honestly was just kind of freaked out about was Ahsoka turning up, because I know who she was. I hadn't seen Clone Wars yet, and I'm really sorry, I know I call myself a Star Wars fan, but I haven't seen like Clone Wars. But honestly, it takes me a while to get into an animated show that is super long, because I don't know how, I think there's like, oh god, how many I think there's a lot of damn seasons, and I have seen the first season and some of the second, but there's like 25 episodes per season. And even though I know they're like 15-20 minutes long, okay, but I have a very shit attention span, especially when it comes to cartoons. I know that sounds really childish of me, but when I'm used to seeing like Anakin and Obi-Wan as humans and I see them as animated, I get kind of a bit freaked out. But because they're on Disney Plus, it's a necessity that I watch them, and I am going through season 2 but it's just going to take me a while to get there. Talking of the child, I'm using the palette today because how can I not? I'm going to be like, yeah, I'll just use another palette. It's still the most adorable palette in the universe. What can I say? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of talking so much out of like context of like how the season goes, because there's just, like I said, there's so much to talk about, but you get to find out what the child's real name is. And I was a bit, I mean, it's a cute name. I like the name. I think it kind of, the whole episode with Ahsoka was just such an eye-opener for the season. And Rosario Dawson, she is amazing. I absolutely love that woman. A lot of people probably might not have recognised her because of all that makeup, but she's been in Sin City. She was in the second Clerks movie, which I think is awesome. And she's been in like tons of other stuff as well. But yeah, as Ahsoka, I remember years ago, she was like, oh, I really want to play Ahsoka. And then she plays her now, which is insane. And they've just announced that she's going to have her own TV show, which is cool. Again, they're milking this idea. So while I kind of decide what I'm going to be using, even though I always go back to like the same colours, which is fine, this season was a lot to take in. And obviously we meet another character called Bo-Katan, who is from I'm pretty sure it's Clone Wars. I'm really sorry if it's not Clone Wars. But yeah, Katie Sakhoff as well. She is another actress that I absolutely love. She's in Battlestar Galactica, so a lot of people would know her as Starbucks, one of them, Starbucks. Yeah, she's the drink company. But yeah, again, Katie Sakhoff is another really big actress, well, for TV people especially, and for her to be in a Star Wars film TV show is freaking awesome. Like, I absolutely adore her. I think she's fantastic, and I love the way she kind of brings the character to the screen. And again, another character that everyone was like raving about and freaking out about, because obviously nostalgia and bringing old things back to the new world is, you know, sometimes I don't hate it, sometimes I do. It depends. But I mean, one of the things that really topped it off for me was Boba Fett. I mean, like I said, I grew up watching Return of the Jedi, and obviously he's in it for not even 15-20 minutes and he gets like killed off. Again, another crazy, just like, okay, were they desperate for characters to bring back? But I'm not saying it in such a negative light, but obviously everyone over the years have been going, oh, bring back Boba Fett because he'll just be amazing to the universe. And when I think a character's dead, I'm just like, okay, just don't now. Just stop, because why are you bringing him back if he's dead? Okay, it's like Marvel when they bring back all the characters that they kill off, that they're just going to bring them back. But I was actually pretty happy and surprised when he turned up, because I wasn't expecting it. I don't think anyone, I think people probably were expecting it, but weren't trying to hype themselves up a bit too much because we could be let down by it. But it was actually played by the same guy who played Jango Fett in the Clone Wars, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, I was just actually quite happy to see him. And the rest of I think he turns up in, oh my god, like the fourth or fifth episode, the fifth episode. And then obviously he's in the rest of it until the last like second of the show. If a lot of people didn't know there was an after credit scene, you have to check it out because it's pretty funny, and it's an amazing throwback to Return of the Jedi as well. What should I go with next? I'm just trying to figure it out with my eyes, especially because it's difficult for me to do my eyeshadow and talk at the same time. But yes, and then we have the last episode, which honestly, I don't understand how people were expecting this character to these characters to turn up, because I had no idea. I don't know if I was just like being blind to everything, or I wasn't concentrating on everything and waiting for things to like turn up. But honestly, again, spoilers, but Luke Skywalker turns up and I'm a bit like, hi, how the hell did you know that they're here? How do you know about Grogu? Oh, I forgot to even say, baby Yoda's name is Grogu, and I actually think that's quite cute. I actually love the scene when Mando says his name out loud and he's like, yes, yes, and like him and Ahsoka, just that scene together just has so much heart and so much love, because he finally can kind of talk to someone, because they talk to each other like telepathically basically, and he finally has someone to talk to, because obviously he doesn't talk to Mando, he just like goes like baby noises because he's a baby. Really. But that scene between him and Ahsoka, honestly, it was just one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. And yeah, it got me really emotional, because obviously this poor innocent little creature is just trying to just find his way, and he's going on all these adventures almost dying because so many people want him. Is insane. But sorry, as I was talking about Luke, honestly, I was not expecting him to turn up, because I mean, were there any indications? Honestly, like I said, I think was I just blurring it out, because I was just like, there's no way he's gonna turn up, there's no way this is gonna happen. But then him and R2 turn up, and R2, I was just a bit like, because R2 is one of my favorite just droids ever. I always choose R2 over 3PO because 3PO just always pisses me off. But I was honestly just on top of the world when I saw them both. But the CGI, oh my god, I'm sorry, but it was fucking terrible. I don't know how a lot of people were like, oh my god, it looks so good, and I'm like, are you lying to yourself? Because honestly, those are, it's just that uncanny valley aspect where you know that the thing that you're looking at is not real, because obviously that wasn't Mark Hamill, it was his face, obviously, but he didn't go back in time, he didn't get any plastic surgery to like get this done. It just looks so strange. And it was the same with Leia actually in Rogue One, but when you look at Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One, it looks amazing because they actually, I mean, it looks okay, it still looks weird because we know that's not Peter Cushing, we know that, but at least it looked a bit more believable than just sticking on an old image of Mark Hamill's face onto his body and it just like blurring. I mean, honestly, if you felt the same way, let me know, because obviously I'm seeing a lot of people kind of raving about it, which, okay, yeah, that's fine, but you can't say it looked that good, because you're lying to yourself. I'm sorry. Because I'm being so hateful, I don't mean to be. But that episode, it seems so quick. I mean, because everything was happening just so quickly, and each episode is around 30 to 40 minutes. So everything you're expecting to happen just happens so quickly, and especially with like the Ahsoka episode, it just was over so quick. And I think it was probably one of the longer episodes. Like the last episode was 46 minutes, I believe, but it didn't feel like it because I was just so excited and stuff was happening, and I was like, what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen? So I feel like I will give them another watch. So I'm trying not to poke my eye out. My eyes are looking quite decent today. I'm actually quite surprised, because normally when I'm talking and putting on makeup, it doesn't really work. So yeah, I actually still really love this palette. I think Colourpop, I think they said on their website that they've still got some left, and I think it's maybe $16, I think. I know that's a bit expensive for something quite small, but it's a really nice palette. But I don't know what's going to happen. Is there going to be a season 3? Have they announced it? Because Mando's whole kind of thing was trying to get Grogu home, or get him to his people, and obviously now that Luke has him, what's going to happen? But then obviously there's all these kind of like memes online where in which one is it, not Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi, when you see kind of what happens to Luke's temple, like is Grogu one of the people / creatures that don't make it out? Like what happens? I mean, I don't want to know if he dies because my heart will not take it. I don't think they'll show us because that'll just be a bit too much. But sorry, don't want to get mascara everywhere. I'm sorry if it's getting, actually the light is getting quite dark. It's quite dark outside now, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the lips on. Just going to put some lips on and I'll be right back. So I just put the light on in my room because it was getting super dark outside, so you can see me a little bit clearer if you want to, apologies. But yeah, this is my finished look, and hang on, so I should have done this off camera, but I was just like, well, what did you guys think of The Mandalorian? What do you think of like the next upcoming shows? Because I don't know what to expect. Am I excited for any of them? Maybe the Ahsoka one. I can't remember what anything else was because it's just too much for my brain sometimes. Like when the Marvel Universe, they were like doing, oh, let's look at this time grid of all these films coming out. And I'm like, please stop. Honestly, it's just too much. But then the fan wants them. They're going to get it. So yeah, tell me what you guys think of The Mandalorian. If you haven't seen it, I've spoiled it. But then I'm sure Twitter's spoiled everything, and if you don't care, then it's fine. But yeah, let me know what you're looking forward to next, what TV show you recommend, because I might do a talk on it. This is my TED talk on The Mandalorian. But the next few Makeup and Movie Mondays, I am going to be talking about Star Wars. So I am going to be doing 1 to 3, then 4 to 6, and then 7 to 9. Because I really want to talk about them. So yeah, look forward to those. Hopefully I will be filming them next week. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. And if I don't see you before Christmas, hope you have a nice Christmas and a happy new year. And thank you so much for all those who have subscribed. I love you all so much. Bye.